Hello everybody, and welcome to CCA Season 7, Div 6, Week 5. I am joined by E-. How are you doing today?
You said it wrong.
I'm calling you E-.
Miles. Yes, I know. This is not new. But anyways, I am doing alright. I have a bit of schoolwork that I arguably should be doing, but it's fine. No one cares about schoolwork.
Listen, if it's due at 11:59, then it doesn't have to be turned into 11:59. And it's not 11:59. Oh, you're fine. Anyway, talking about the match, we have a very spicy Div 6 Group 2 matchup between Auburn Navy and PSU Fish.
Got it.
A little bit about these two teams is that Auburn Navy is already clinched, so they're going to be making the playoffs with a 4-0 record and a very strong plus 15 point differential. However, Fish, this matchup is going to be big for them, as with a win, they can guarantee the 1 seed, but with a loss, they could be knocked out of the playoffs. Do you have anything to say? I'm going to call you E- again, about these two teams?
I mean, I know nothing about Auburn Navy, and I'm not totally sure how the playoffs work, but I do know that PSU Fish is pretty goated. And they have some very strong players on it, with Wallace being a former member of PSU White, and Cracked Form being probably one of the team's strongest members right now.
They are pretty goated indeed. I do know a little bit about Auburn Navy. So Auburn Navy, if I remember correctly, they run a comp usually consists of a brush, a decapitator, a Hydra splatling, and then some sort of shooter, I believe. So their whole goal is to just flank you on every side and then have the Hydra to prevent any rushing. Meanwhile, on the Fish side, Wallace playing a lot of pencil and bamboo, Cracked Form, and Nat both are mean front lines, and Soul plays a little bit more of a midline support. So yeah, going to be very interesting to see what both these teams bring to the table in this very heated Week 5 matchup.
I do find it funny that despite Wallace trying to encourage our leader player to not play pencil, he also plays pencil as the #1 cooler hater.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure if you're a consistent returner to these streams, whenever Wallace is on the comms, he always has something to say about Cooler specifically. But it's ironic because he runs Cooler himself. So to that, I say, Wallace, what are you doing?
Yeah, pretty accurate. I mean, I agree with his take that Cooler is not nearly as strong at lower levels, but I also disagree with his take that it's garbage and worthless, especially since pencil itself is a very powerful main weapon.
For sure. And I mean, on a map like Zone's Hagglefish, I feel like any sort of backline in like Charger or Pencil is going to be the key to victory here, as once they get on that tent, it's very difficult for them to get off. But yeah, we're going to be jumping right on into it. Let's take a look at these comps.
Ooh, they have a Stamper and a Pro instead of that Decav and Brush you were talking about.
Ooh, we got 5 shooters on the board, and Soltem's running the Forge Pro. We got a banger on. Let's see how both these teams do under their opening.
Pretty standard shoot. I mean, I don't know anything about shooters, but as far as I'm aware, they play pretty paint support passes, so this looks pretty standard, just spamming bombs. Yeah. But with Fish being able to get an early cap, then immediately goes down.
Yeah, Hydra Splatling finds a nice pick, but unfortunately 2 of their team members are going to go down, forced to pop the Booyah Bomb to try to hold some space, but now they're being forced to retreat, and Fish has the attack.
Stamper going for a Panic Zipcaster, it looks like. Does not appear to find anyone and immediately gets camped. Love to see it.
Yeah, Fish coming out very aggressive here. Cracked Form with the shot. Gonna try to make a play on the Hydra, but no, not gonna find the pick, and this Crab Tank's gonna do a lot of damage.
They're like halfway to getting cap here, which looks like they're gonna get it actually. Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, all the members are up on both sides. I'm not sure who's gonna get this cap. Zuka online can be big, but no, 2 go down for Fish.
That is it gonna be a zone flip with a pretty heavy penalty. Not anything they can't work around though.
Yeah, but both of these shots still being alive, and 2 specials coming out. Nat's gonna create an opening with these strikes, gonna flip the zone themselves, and now gonna try to move in and find a pick. Not gonna find it, but gonna be 2 numbers down. They're gonna be the last one alive. Barely trying to stay alive, finds 1, but gets picked off.
Ooh, unfortunate. Now Hydra's gonna be taking middle here, which is a very oppressive position to hold. It can breach your tent too, so it's very difficult for the Charger to poke it.
Yeah, and I mean, they don't really have much for this Hydra and Crab Tank coming out. I mean, Booyah Bomb's online, but no, gonna get punished right away. And now the Crab Tank on the attack. Auburn Navy's gonna flip the lead soon.
I mean, that is a nasty pick as bomb, though. The
didn't get
strikes are going to hold him forward and get him picked off. Impressive strikes there.
Wow, and Crack Form's coming online. Gonna find two. Can they get the third with the help of their team? They do, and Crack Form single-handedly taking this game over.
I mean, that's what we love to see here at Penn State, having our good old splatter shot owning the entire match.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's always a splatter shot stepping up. You got V and Snow, and now Cracked Form, the freshman, coming in, creating a nice opening for Fish, but Auburn Navy strikes back, finds the zone flip.
Looks like now they're just gonna try holding here. Oh, interesting Zipcaster does not appear to find anyone, as Zipcaster usually doesn't.
Yeah, and the strikes are going to come out on the zone. Going to get a neutral. Wallace has the cooler online. Going to try to pop it for their team. And now Fish is going to need to coordinate these specials if they want to get back in.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and Booyah the Hydra with one in behind and might be able to get force some kind of pick.
Yeah, I mean,
it look like it does. Immediately goes one down. Jeez.
Yes, Crackform on the flank, trying to make something happen with their shot, but gonna be with the support of Nat to find a nice pick. Zuka is gonna be online, but gets punished by the Crab Tank. Fish is in trouble here.
Yeah, looks like they might be trying to make some kind of flanking play here. Interesting that they're not using their strikes.
Yeah, Nat's gonna find a nice pick, gonna try to get an opening. Nat finds two, Nat finds three! Nat's gonna go on a tear, and Fish is gonna get the wipeout!
That is one hell of a counter push. Now let's see if they can keep this hold to get their penalty down.
Yeah, Nat single-handedly taking care of that. A lot of hero plays coming out from Crackform and Nat, but that's exactly what you want to see as Fish, but the Zipcaster coming in, gonna try to find the pick on Wallace, but Wallace barely gonna avoid it. Oh, but the Zip gets a double. Yeah, now
1 point away. Ooh, they do get lead. That is very huge at 1 minute left.
Unfortunately, Crackform gonna get punished. Auburn Navy's gonna need to try to get to this zone quick, but Fish is gonna recap. Fish finds one. Wallace forced the back up, and the Booyah Bomb's gonna come out right away.
Yeah.
Oh, but they got two down!
They only have a few seconds here to get the zone cap. Hydra might not even have time to finish revving.
Oh,
ooh, that is game one.
And Fish able to hold off the zone. I mean, I don't know who came in. I believe it was Cracked Form or Nat, but they were able to flank on the left side, get two picks, and essentially stop Auburn Navy from capping the zone at the end there. And now Fish sending a strong message. Gonna take the first game of the set. And I mean, like we said before, whoever wins this gonna get the 1 seed for their group. So battle for the 1 seed here.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, a very impressive showing from Fish. Though nothing I haven't seen before from Cracked, although Nat's also showing that he can pull his weight too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like all of these players equally contributed something. Like, while we want to give the highlight for the flashy plays of Cracked Form and Nat, Wallace and Soul being able to hold down the points. Like, I didn't see really Wallace or Soul die that much. I mean, yeah, they were 2 down when Cracked or Nat made a harsh decision, but being able to get the team back in with the cooler and such is big, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of Fish. But Auburn Navy, don't count them out yet. That was a very close game. This definitely could be anyone's game. But now, heading to map number 2. I'm going to pop quiz you, E. Do you know what map it is? I'm sure you just played yesterday.
I did just play yesterday, and I don't remember what map it is. We love short-term memory loss. Oh, it's Museum Clams, that's right. And the next match is Mako Tower.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see if we have the Hydra going to stick with their Hydra against the pencil. Especially on a map like Museum. Getting outranged is kind of a death sentence.
Yeah, and a little bit of a death talk, as I have been talking to Wallace earlier. Obviously very nervous for this match, as a loss could knock them out of the playoffs, but Wallace knew the matchup and now is deciding to go pencil to specifically counter that Hydra, as they usually prefer more of a bamboo style. But yeah, I mean, Fish gonna elect to keep the same comp around. Usually they've been switching pretty often, and I know that their 5th is around, but electing to go with the same 4 bread and butter that won the first game, but might see some weapon changes, especially Soul could be swapping off that Forge Pro.
Yeah, absolutely. I know one of them, I think Nat plays Ballpoint, which could also be very interesting here.
For sure, for sure. As we are going to be jumping right into game number 2. Taking a look at these comps here, we see the Octobrush and the Stamper, like I said before, and the Flingza Roller coming out from Seoul.
Ooh, and 52 Gal. Very interesting team comp changes.
Object Shredder!
Gotta love the lack of stealth jump from basically everyone. Let's go. We love Div 6.
Yeah, only 3 stealth jumps online, as we're going to see. Unfortunately, Nat's going to go down early on, but this could create an opening for Auburn Navy if they use it correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, Octobrush immediately gets picked as Nat respawns, leaving the numbers mostly even.
Yeah, notice Cracked Form fighting alone in mid, gonna find 2 by themselves. And now Nat working with them. This could be exactly what they want to see, as Wallace is trying to paint up for their front lines.
Yeah, also trying to get good pokes on the Hydra, keep them out, since they are currently... never mind, immediately gets picked off.
Yeah, Nat being able to find a very nice pick on the Hydra, but they have to move with with that numbers advantage. Whale online. Cracked Form trying to find a pick, but gonna be facing a lot of pressure from Auburn.
Ooh, this Crab here might be able to hold off their push for long enough if his Whales don't get them.
Oh no, but the 2 front lines are moving in like bread and butter. Finds another one. Nat and Cracked, you madmen. Trying to move in and create more picks.
Ooh, an interesting Zuka here. Does not find anyone, unfortunately. Immediately tries to push up with it, so...
Cooler's going to be online back in mid, but those front lines are going to have to retreat in order to get some value off of that. Looks like things are staling out a little bit as Auburn Navy is going to regain control of their stack, but I don't know for how long.
Yeah, I mean, they do seem to be pretty pressed up here. Ooh, a good pick from the Brush here might be able to turn things around, alongside a quick Zipcaster.
Yeah, no, Brush is going to be very good into their weapons. I feel like Shooter is probably one of Brush's best matchups, especially with the quicker kill time up front. But Fox is going to need to do a lot of heavy lifting as Cracked Form comes out with the Zuka. Does not find a pick, but is able to trap him in with Nat.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and go back to pushing block here. Very interesting play with a Brush, although they do manage to catch the pick on it.
Yeah, Nat's been going on a tear. Finds a triple. Shot coming in. 1 with the super jump. No, but the second one doesn't connect. Cracked Form going to be able to convert. And now it's just Nat left, and that's going to be a total party kill for Auburn Navy.
Unfortunate, although they did score a lot of points there on an otherwise very low-scoring match, so this might be hard to come back from. Though I've seen 0 to 100 overtime pushes, so what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, Pencil is going to be really hard to retake against, but this Stamper is going to try to make something happen on their own. Not going to find the pick, though, as Nat shuts it down.
Ooh, that is a truly disappointing play from Zipcaster. Although, granted, I've been kind of accustomed to the very disappointing plays of Zipcaster. And an interesting trade here with the 52 Gal against the Splash.
Yeah, no, I mean, shout out early on to Nat, being able to create a lot of openings for this team, but Sultan trying to follow in the footsteps, going to be playing a little aggressive, but going to get picked off as it's going to be numbers even with 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I mean, halfway through the match here, although given this is Flamblish, we all know that they get an extra 20 seconds. It usually does a lot more than you think it would.
Wow, I don't know how he lived that. I'm not going to hold you.
I have no idea either. I've kind of accepted that Zipcaster is weird as hell.
Yeah, Soul going to be trying to play a little more aggressive with the Flingza, not going to find the connection, and now forced to retreat. Has the missiles online, going to target the 2 on the left here.
Yeah, it looks like... Oh, never mind. I thought someone was going to chase him down, but it looks like they're just going to let the missiles fall on their own.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to push up on Museum, so Auburn Navy going to be trying to pull out some tricks in order to make something happen. Starting off with Speedwagon, zooming in, finds a pick, but with the cooler, Fish is going to be back super quick.
Yeah, they're holding the buoy here, trying to create some amount of pressure. Does manage to clear their plat for just a moment, but does not look like they're going to be able to make some kind of push with it.
Ooh, but 2 go down. That's both the front lines, and now Fish is going to be in some trouble as Wallace tries to make something happen with their pencil. But Bean here with the power... Whoa! with the power clam, trying to make something happen on their own. 2 power clams could get the lead for Auburn Navy as 1 goes down from Fish.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 2 power clams and a single clam, or 2 single clams, but... Ooh,
that's a delayed wipe!
Him and dunks it. Oh, that is going to be lead for Auburn Navy. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that Stamper able to create a nice opening for the team. Unfortunately, Soul's going to go in a little too preemptively, get punished, while PSU Fish has likely cleared them out. That's still going to be a lot of damage with 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to get a push really quickly here. I mean, they have... Wait, quick math.
They need 2 power clams.
Yeah, 2 power clams, yeah.
Yep, so 2 power clams will take the lead for PSU Fish, but with only 15 seconds left to go, they're going to need to make something happen quick. But who else can do it but Cracked Form has the Zuka online, but no, Soul plays a little too aggressive, he gets punished.
Yeah, looks like the Brush is going to be trying to just flank here or hold their ramp. I mean, they do have pity, so they're going to get the extra 20 overtime seconds, but that might not be enough with how this is currently looking.
Ooh, Soul barely saves Wallace there, and that's going to give Fish a small ounce of breathing room, but only 10 seconds left to go. Wallace needs to go through this block jump if they want to win, and Fish going to have the numbers down, forced to make a desperate play, and Wallace is not going to convert. Auburn Navy sending a strong message to equalize the set 1-1.
Yeah, that is a very strong showing by Navy, showing that Hydra is better than Pencil, confirmed, not clickbait.
So true. I mean, why play the game when you can play Hydra, am I right?
Exactly. I'm playing Hydra, not Splatoon 2 or 3.
I mean, pretty. 2. Splatoon 2, yeah. new bracket, Splatoon 2 live.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, Auburn Navy, even though they were losing for most of that game, they were able to rally together. That's exactly what you want to see. Some very nice teamwork coming out. Going to be able to equalize the set 1-1. And I mean, Stamper, I feel like the Stamper, those Zipcasters were the main opening for Auburn Navy there.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it didn't always get picked, they were able to immediately turn everyone's head to go and try and deal with the Zipcaster, which definitely creates some amount of vulnerability, something the Brush immediately took notice of.
Yeah, and now with that, we're going to be heading to game number 3. Tower Control Makomar. You think we see some weapon changes here?
I definitely think the Brush might be sticking here. It seemed to work exceptionally well into their comp, but other than that, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think anyone here plays Bucket.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Auburn Navy could pull out some sort of Tri-Slosher, maybe. I feel like that's also a pretty fun weapon to run on Tower Control Makomart. Wallace going to be with a very interesting decision whether they want to keep the pencil or not. Now, I'm honestly not too sure because, I mean, yes, you can make the argument that Pencil is one of the best backlines in the game and that it should be played everywhere, but Wallace isn't as familiar with Pencil as you think, so might be electing to go with a little bit more of a comfort pick. But with that, we are going to be seeing a player swap, I believe, from both teams, as PSU Fish is going to be getting Franken here in place of Soul, and Auburn Navy is going to be getting Photo in here in place of Fox.
Very interesting comp changes. I'm interested to see what weapons they're planning on pulling out here.
For sure. And, I mean, Fish looks like they're ready to go. Auburn Navy still doing some talking, so glad to see Fish still has their confidence despite losing one game because, I mean, I know from experience, a team can easily fold out from pressure after losing just one game, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean... I've seen us fold from losing 0 games and just seeing a bigger number in their div.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to win games. You're always going to lose games. All that matters is just you keep your head up, and you just play the next one even harder than you did before. So that's going to be my advice for both of these teams heading into game number 3. I'm sure the nerves are picking up even more. While Auburn Navy has a confirmed playoff spot, Fish's nerves are going to be spiraling through the roofs, but that's a later problem. Now, the goal is to win on Tower Control Makomart.
Exactly. I do wonder, Wallace has been having talks about playing E-Leader, so they might switch to Leader to counter the Hydra. A bit of a iffy decision in my opinion, since Pencil is typically better at dealing with Hydra in my experience, but definitely one with some merit.
Yeah, I do also want to point out on the side of Auburn Navy that they did swap out their Brush player, Fox, from the last game, as you said. Going to be interesting to see if Photo is like another one of those skirmishy, like Tri-Sloshers, Roller. That's exactly what you want to see on Tower Control Mako. So, taking a look at that, Photo is their decav, and they're going to switch the different Hydra, Wallace sticking on Pencil.
Ooh, interesting. They also bring on an S-Blast.
And the Chocolate Chip Bullies.
Oh yeah, the Crapples, as elegantly put by Nova.
Yeah, I also want to point out Nat running a Ninja Squid here on the T-Tech.
It did T-Tech. I thought you were talking about the Roller. Interesting.
No, both. T-Tech and Roller both have Ninja Squid.
Very interesting. Maybe trying to avoid detection by the... Ooh, nice bomb!
That's a delayed one.
Hydra.
And now PSU Fish gonna get... Sorry. Fluffy gonna go on the flank, gonna find a nice pick onto Bean, and now PSU Fish on the attack. Photo gonna find one, Photo gonna find two, Photo on a tear.
Yeah, Decav just essentially mowing down their comp. It is definitely a strong Decav matchup, to be fair.
Yeah, but Ash is going to try to shut this down with the roller of their own. Forced to retreat and 2 numbers down, and now Auburn Navy could be pushing here.
Yeah, it looks like it. Decav holding power gets immediately picked by Pencil.
Yeah, Wallace going to be forced to retreat, and it's just the S-Blast left. Cracked and Nat are going to be moving in to stop this. Fish is going to hold on to their lead, but I'm not sure for how long it's going to stay.
Yeah, Panic Booyah trying to hold their stack for just a little bit longer. Does not seem like they're going to be able to take it too well, though.
Yeah,
they do have one up on stack, but immediately gets picked off.
Crackform going to find a nice pick here, and now it's going to be numbers even, but no, 1, 2, 3 go down, and now it's just Wallace on Pencil.
That is an incredibly devastating wipe for Fish here. Might be able to sneak out an entire check with this.
I just realized they're running double bubble on the tower.
Yeah, they're double bubble blowing babies right here.
Yeah, so these are going to pop another bubble right on the tower. Yeah, that's a very nasty strat from Auburn Navy coming out. Ash trying to make something happen, unfortunately going to get picked off, and now Crackform going to need to try to hold.
Yeah, it looks like they've especially tailored their comp. All of the weapons have positive matchups in the splatter shot here. And it's definitely showing as they're starting to win more fights against Fish.
I mean, both these splatter shots are going to need to truly lock in, as they like to say. But no, Decav going to do a little loop-de-loop and pull, but Nat going to find the pick there. And now Fish could make it something happen here.
Rare sighting of a Decav missing with their 180-degree hitbox. Obviously, it needs a buff.
Yeah, I mean, if Decav wasn't such a bad weapon that they need to buff it in order for that to happen. But no, Fish finds one. Ash here, unfortunately, going to get called out by the Hydra, and now it's numbers even.
Yeah, looks like they're caught in a very exposed position, but Hydra immediately gets picked off here.
Ooh, Crackform. Oh, but Ash is trying to fight the last one on the side of the screen. Bean gonna be one, but no, Ash gets picked off by Bean, and now Bean trying to split the offense, as I like to call it. Crackform gonna be playing aggressive on this decaf. Crackform finds one, Crackform finds two, and now Crackform back on the tower.
Look, this looks like it's gonna be a lead swap here. Very good sign for Fish.
Wow, Crackform just took that over. But no, can't count on Auburn Navy yet, as Speedwagon finds one. And now Speedwagon's going to be trying to move back in on this Pencil.
Yeah, it immediately starts hard rushing the Pencil. Takes him out. Also counts the jump here. That is very unfortunate for Fish.
That's going to be a delayed wipe, and with specials down, the strikes are going to be coming out a little bit early. Not going to find a pick here, and now Auburn Navy with the double bubble trouble coming in with the attack.
And a Booyah Bomb trying to clear their ramp. I don't think it really did much there, unfortunately.
Oh, but Ash finds a nice pick, and Ash going behind to try to get a pick on the decaf. Ash finds the double, and now just last one left is Bean, and Ash going to be working with the help of Crackform to clear that push.
Yeah, a very strong defense here by Fish.
And now 1 minute left to go.
Trying to get the decaf. Doesn't find anyone, though.
Yeah, Crackform going to be getting spammed by these burst bombs, and now Decaf going to try to make something happen. Ash coming in with the roller, not going to find one, but no, two go down from Fish.
Ooh, unfortunate. It's now 2v1. Very dangerous situation, especially with Bubble online.
Yeah, it's going to be just Crackform here, as they're going to get picked off in a delayed wipe scenario. They got to shred this Bubble, and they got to shred it fast. But no, Ash is coming in from the side, not going to find the pick, and now it's 2 numbers down.
Yeah, 2 of them are just holding their plat very defensively. Unfortunately, it looks like Auburn's gotten hold of their stack. A very key position on this map, and Decav enters their base.
Yeah, no, this S-Blast is going to do a lot of damage here. And now Crackform and Nat are trying to work together. No, that's going to be pretty much a delayed wipe. Nat's going to be close to strikes, but not going to get it in time. And Auburn Navy's sending a strong message, taking this game number 3.
Yeah, that is a very impressive showing by Navy there. A very strong push.
I know, for sure. And I mean, once those double bubbles get active on tower, I mean, if Nat doesn't have their strikes, that's just a free, 30 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with strikes, it's still probably a free 15 points minimum.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, Fish had that for most of the game, but Auburn Navy sneaks in the last minute, steals this game, and now Fish is going to be in some trouble here heading into game number 4.
Yeah, I definitely feel like their nerves are starting to get to them a little bit. I mean, crumbling on such a strong push like that is definitely not a great sign for what could be you risking your playoff match here.
For sure, for sure. And even if Fish to the 7 does end up losing this, they will not be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. They're going to need some help from a few other teams, but it's still possible. But, I mean, you never want to think that way. Winning comes first, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do. Fish to the 7th, heading into game number 4, and the map is...
I believe Rainmaker Scorch.
Rainmaker Scorch, that is correct.
Yeah, I got it.
There you go. I was gonna say, I don't have the excuse. I haven't played my match yet.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. I mean, game number 4, things are starting to heat up. Auburn Navy gonna try to run away with this. A 3-1 lead could be amazing for them. But Fish to the 7th looking to equalize the set, swapping out Frank for Soul Temp.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty decently strong showing by Roller, but definitely not something you want to be running into a decav.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you're Auburn Navy, that comp of the decav and the S-Blast is just so good into the double shooter that PSU Fish has been running. So, gonna be surprised if they switch off of that.
Yeah, I mean, they're really showing why splatter shot's more of a support weapon nowadays, with the strong oppressive midlines like decav and S-Blast able to just shut it down from much longer range.
Definitely. And looks like things will be getting started pretty shortly, just waiting on a few more players to ready up. But Rainmaker Scorch, this is going to be another interesting decision for Pencil because, I mean, TC Mako is like on Pencil. I feel like Rainmaker Scorch is not that good on Pencil.
Yeah, I know Ivy likes this map as a leader player, but I have no experience on this map for Pencil. I think it's a decent Pencil map, but it plays very aggressive. You just want to get that one really strong push, and you're probably set for the match. And I don't know how well Pencil can facilitate that besides Cooler.
Are you saying that you play leader?
No, I said Ivy plays leader and likes it.
Oh, I got my hopes up. I thought we were gonna see some leader gameplay from Minus E. Anyway,
yeah, Mr. Brella bucket guy and plays E leader.
I mean, it's close enough.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, but taking a look at these comps, Wallace swapping to the bamboo and triple shooter on top of that. Photo's got to be feeling real good about this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. A very fast-paced comp, though. If they can get one good wipe in, they can probably get it down to 30.
Yeah, Wallace trying to pop with their team on the Rainmaker shield, but Photo coming in, gonna get picked off by Cracked Form, and that's a good start for Fish.
Yeah, 2 down on the side of Auburn. Just their Pro and Hydra, not 2 weapons that you want to be alone here.
Yeah, and that's going to be trying to create an opening as Fish gets the first dunk, but goes 2 down in return.
Yeah, very, very strong start, however. Even if you get 2 down, still a good thing to get the check early. Gives you much more time. The second you get a wipe, you don't have to worry about that check anymore.
For sure, and Crack's gonna bait Photo there. Gonna get a very nice pick. Zuka gonna try to come out onto the Hydra splat lane, but Crack really has nowhere else to shoot this, and that's gonna be sort of a waste of a Zuka. But no, Rainmaker's going to reset.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to shark out this decap here. Do manage to get the pick, and now gonna try and whale their backlines, make some kind of push here.
Yeah, I think the main thing about Auburn Navy is that they're so easily able to split Fish's attack. Either Photo from the flank, Dapple Dooley's on the flank. It's like whenever Fish feels like they have some momentum, both of those aggressive players are coming in.
Yeah. Ooh, an interesting trade at the decav and bamboo here. Not what you want to see for Fish.
Oh, that's an aggressive Booyah Bomb.
Very interesting Booyah Bomb on this Hydra, but to be fair, it did take it out for a good while.
Yeah, Soul's going to get picked off there, and Fish is going to be numbers down with 3.5 minutes left to go. This is exactly what Auburn Navy wants, as they're trying to move in, but no, one falls, and now Bean's trying to play aggressive. Just a pro.
Oh, it's
a wipeout.
Auburn Navy wipes here. That is going to be huge points. We already see Nat pushing up far. Decav's going to try and get this pick. Does not manage to land a hit. That is going to be 32. A very strong push here.
Yeah, but the push is still going.
They might even be able to score even more. But Juke with the Hydra, we love the schmooze from Cracked here.
Smooth and Cracked form, gonna get the points down to 12 points remaining. Now Fish has a pretty comfortable lead, but you can't count out Auburn Navy as they've had 2 leads that both fell to them in the previous 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, they do seem to be holding their ramp for a surprisingly long time with a splatter shot behind them somehow. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I mean, Photo's trying to make some hero plays here, playing very alone from the rest of their team, but has the bubble online, so not that bad of an outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they took mid back pretty decisively here. Still don't have back mid, but they've got their ramp at least, which is a very strong position to hold.
Fortunately, Photo, their lead decav's going to be falling. 2 specials coming out from Auburn Navy, but no, I see one on the flank there trying to make something happen, but no, Crackform gets called out.
Unfortunate. Ooh, immediately gets Booyah Bomb. That is going to be a dead Rainmaker in a very disadvantageous position for Navy here.
For sure, and now, if you're Fish with 2 minutes left to go, you got to be feeling quite comfortable, but not safe yet, as Auburn Navy has proven to be able to take leads back from this, even from big of a disadvantage as this.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sultan getting stuck here in enemy ink with his shooters. It's somewhat embarrassing, but starts to hold it, picks up the Rainmaker despite being numbers even still.
They're in the Rainmaker free zone. They're in the Rainmaker free zone. Sultan,
oh, no,
you gotta get out of there.
timer.
Sultan, you gotta get out of there. Sultan, you gotta get out of there. Sultan,
I gotta get out of here.
Sultan, get out.
Oh my god, Sultan, you're throwing.
Sultan, get out of there, get out of there.
And there goes the Rainmaker, of instant reset because of the Rainmaker free zone. Crack getting a huge pick on this decav. Love to see it. Love to see when decav hitbox isn't 3 miles long.
True. But now 1 minute left to go. I mean, it was a stall, all right. That's one for sure. But Crackform coming in, finds one nice pick on the anchor. Not going to find another, though.
Yeah, still a pick on the Hydra is huge for the team, especially when there's disadvantage as this. Still, numbers up against PSU, so they might still have a chance to make some kind of push here. Might not have time for a second.
No, Booyah Bomb doesn't find the pick now, and Fish is just playing defense with 40 seconds left to go. Yeah,
I mean, Rainmaker timer isn't even much longer, so even if they do activate overtime here, that won't be for long. Ooh, Rainmaker does go down. There's going to be a huge stall of momentum for Auburn Navy here. Not what you want to see if you're them.
Yeah, I mean, 20 seconds left. Even though Fish is 2 numbers down, Auburn Navy has a big gap to climb, but first things first, getting this checkpoint. They are going to get it, but go 2 numbers down in the process.
Yeah, if Fish can just stall the pop here, which it looks like they're going to do, that will be game for Auburn Navy.
Yeah, and Fish is just going to hold this Rainmaker here, and Fish is going to equalize the set 2-2. Things are getting interesting here as now it comes down to a best of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. You love to see a tied game for all our viewers at home. Maybe not if you're Fish or Navy here, trying to get the win by any means necessary, but